Annie was still asleep when her body slowly began to slide. Beneath her was a 10,000-meter drop. Falling from that height meant certain death. She sensed something was wrong and woke up with a jolt, but it was already too late. She could only tumble helplessly toward the abyss. But then, something unexpected happened. Annie slowly opened her eyes. Her pupils widened in shock. She jerked upright and grabbed onto a rope just in time, her heart pounding as she realized she was hanging in midair. It was the rope in her hand that had kept her from falling. Annie called out to Kevin for help, but he was curled up in the basket, silent. Worse yet, the ice on the rope was beginning to melt. Her grip kept slipping, and she was slowly sliding downward. At that height, a fall would be fatal. Desperate, Annie kicked her legs to swing back toward the hot air balloon. After repeated efforts, she managed to get closer to the basket. With one final push, she kicked out and used the momentum to grab the edge of the basket. Locking eyes on Kevin huddled in the corner, Annie used every ounce of strength to pull herself in. Still gasping for breath, she crawled toward him, calling his name again and again. But it was too late. As she drew closer, she realized with horror that his heart had stopped. Just as Annie was about to break down, Kevin miraculously woke up. Seeing Annie's bruised, bleeding hands and noticing that the balloon had stabilized again, he realized she had climbed all the way to the top to close the valve. Grateful to be alive, the two began excitedly talking about the future. But suddenly, they noticed something strange. The falling snow had frozen midair. Then, like magic, it began floating upward. That's when Annie realized the balloon was dropping too fast. At this rate, they were going to crash. She shouted for Kevin to start throwing things overboard. They tossed out everything heavy, even their jackets. But the balloon only kept falling faster, and the basket was already empty. They were seconds away from slamming into the ground.